Not every panic attack looks like crying, shaking, or collapsing on the floor. Sometimes panic hides behind a smile. You're still at work, you're still talking to people, you're still doing everything that looks normal on the outside, but inside, your body feels like it's under attack. I've been living with depression and anxiety disorders for more than 10 years, and I've decided to share my journey openly because I know how isolating this can feel. If you've ever felt alone in your struggles, I want you to know you're not. And if this speaks to you, I'd love for you to subscribe and keep following along. What I'm sharing here is the real side of living with panic attacks. When most people picture a panic attack, they usually think of one thing: uncontrollable crying, body shaking, heart racing, and someone completely breaking down. And yes, that happens. But in my own experience, after going through panic attacks for over a decade, I've realized they don't always look like that. For me, there are two very different kinds. The first I call a high-functioning panic attack. The second I call a severe panic attack. Let's start with the high-functioning one. This kind of panic attack reminds me of high-functioning depression. On the outside, you look like you're fine. You're keeping up appearances, you're working, talking, laughing even. But on the inside, your body is in complete panic. For example, I've had panic attacks right in the middle of my office. I was sending emails, attending meetings, and giving important updates, all while my body was screaming at me. The symptoms are intense. My stomach tightens, a huge wave of fear rushes through me as if something terrible is about to happen at any second. My breathing speeds up. My body goes cold. My heart races so fast I can feel it pounding in my chest. And here's the part that's really tough. A high-functioning panic attack doesn't just last a few minutes. It can stretch for hours. I've had entire days where I was in that state, pretending to function on the outside while inside I was trapped in panic. Sometimes it only fades late at night or the next morning when my mind finally lets go. Now, the second type is very different, the severe panic attack. And this one has a unique symptom that completely breaks me down: uncontrollable crying. When this kind of panic hits, it doesn't matter where I am, at work, in public, even in the middle of a conversation with colleagues. My eyes fill with tears, and I can't stop them. This is what separates it from the high-functioning version. Because once the crying starts, I can't pretend anymore. I can't keep working. I can't keep talking. I have to leave immediately. Sometimes I rush to the restroom just to let it all out in private. These severe panic attacks don't last as long. Usually they're only a few minutes compared to the hours of the high-functioning kind, but they hit harder. The crying, the loss of control, the complete exhaustion afterward. And when I finally return to people with red, swollen eyes, I have to make excuses. I'll say things like, "Oh, I think I've got allergies," or "It's just the flu." But deep down, I know exactly what just happened. So in my journey, I've experienced both kinds. The high-functioning panic attack that lasts for hours, quietly draining me while I keep going, and the severe panic attack that crashes in suddenly, overwhelms me, and leaves me completely drained. I don't think we talk enough about the high-functioning version. People usually imagine panic attacks as dramatic breakdowns, but the truth is, many of us walk through daily life in panic, still showing up for work, for family, for responsibilities. While inside, we're barely holding on. That's been my personal experience. Yours might look different, but if you've ever felt like you were panicking inside while still doing your job, still keeping everything together on the outside, know this: you're not alone. It's still a panic attack, even if nobody else can see it. If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever experienced the high-functioning kind of panic attack? And if you'd like to keep following along with my journey and hear more honest, unfiltered stories about anxiety, depression, and panic, I invite you to subscribe. This is a safe space, a space to share the parts of mental health most people never talk about, and I'd love for you to be part of it.